More standard safety and a front-wheel drive F-Sport trim bring some expanded utility and value to the RX 350 this year. Hi, I'm Mike Perkins from CarGurus, and this week I've been driving the 2017 Lexus RX 350 F-Sport. After debuting as an option in 2016, Lexus has taken their Safety System Plus package and made it standard this year, adding a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, auto high beams, full-speed dynamic cruise control, and a lane departure warning system with steering assist to any RX 350 you want. In addition, every RX 350 gets rain-sensing wipers and an auto brake function for their parking assist system this year. But the big news is that the F-Sport package is now available in front-wheel drive configuration, which completes the F-Sport availability throughout the RX lineup. And that is good, because in addition to the aesthetic additions that the F-Sport package gets you, the unique 20-inch wheels, the chin spoiler and rear valance, and that divisive mesh grille, it also adds adaptive dampers that transform the RX 350 from just another entrant in the mid-size luxury crossover segment to something you need to check out. With the F-Sport package and those adaptive dampers, the RX 350 feels as close to a car as reasonably can be expected. I mean, if you really start pushing it through turns, it is going to remind you that it's still a nearly 70-inch tall SUV. But if you're driving your crossover that aggressively, I think you should probably reevaluate if this is the type of vehicle that you want or need. So, what else do you get with the F-Sport package? Well, there's some really nice interior touches. You get these aluminum pedals and scuff plate. You get some ambient lighting. There's an LFA-inspired digital gauge cluster, a unique steering wheel, and a unique shift knob. But I think my favorite part are these sports seats. Now, the seats in the regular RX 350, they're good. These are great. I mean, the price for the F-Sport package is $6,000 almost, and these seats may be worth it alone. To be fair, the lumbar support, it's a little inelegant, it's hard as a rock, and you can't move it up or down. And the ventilation is surprisingly loud, but you get intelligent heating and cooling, some serious side bolstering, and just a ton of long-distance comfort. They're great. You also get these really nice paddle shifters with the F-Sport package, but this is actually one of the few vehicles on the road where they're not really necessary. I mean, nearly every transmission out there is doing its best to maximize the efficiency of the engine it's been bolted to these days by trying to keep itself in the highest gear possible at all times. So what that means is, if you're on the highway and you're going to pass, in order to really get that kind of power you're going to need, you just have to mash the accelerator so that it'll initiate a downshift. And even then, it'll sometimes take a second or two before that happens. So paddle shifters are a great way to just drop a few cogs and get right into the meaty part of the torque curve. Here, the 8-speed transmission acts like a transmission is supposed to, and it'll get you into the correct gear right away without you having to ask 3 times. So paddle shifters are nice, but you really don't even need them. Is it the fastest option in the segment? No, it's not. With 295 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque, the 3.5-liter V6 here will get you to 60 miles an hour in about 7.5 seconds. For comparison, the MDX and X5 do it about a second faster, and the GLE manages it in just under 7 seconds. The XC90 is about the same as the RX 350 though. Is it the most efficient? On paper, it matches the rest of the entrants and even beats the GLE with an EPA-rated 20 city, 27 highway, and 23 combined miles per gallon. Real world, I've managed about 19 in a few hundred miles of mixed driving. That did include highway time in eco mode. Now there's one more thing you get with the F-Sport. Toyota's press releases refer to it as a sound generator, and they use it to make the F Sport sound sportier. The good news is, this is not fake engine noise pumped electronically into the cabin like BMW has been doing. This is a mechanical piece, it's attached to the snorkel, and it's used to amplify intake noise. Really, it's just a testament to how quiet the RX 350's base engine already is. But I mean, for $6,000, how about an actual performance intake that just, sounds better? So let's talk about some negatives. Lexus boasts some of the best interiors in the market. The fit and finish and design, that's always top of the heap, but that doesn't mean everything is perfect. The black headliner here that comes with the F Sport package, it feels old. It's that same mid-90s pseudo felt material that looks like it's gonna pill as soon as you look at it cross-eyed. And this painted silver plastic trim, it just looks like it belongs on a much cheaper car. The RX, it just deserves better. Now, this 12.3-inch panoramic split-screen high-definition display is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a huge improvement over the standard 8-inch display. But if you get it, you have to deal with the frustratingly imprecise remote touch interface. Now, I couldn't stand the system when it first came out, and they've done a lot to improve it over the years, but it's still just kind of a damn mess. I mean, the cursor, I can never get it to land where I'm aiming on the first or even the second try. And there are still a lot of really illogical parts of the interface. For instance, if you're messing around in the navigation settings, say you're adding a waypoint to your destination or something like that, the only way to get back to the map display is via a dedicated button on the console. And that's fine once you figure that out, but I had half a dozen people who were unfamiliar with the system just playing around in here, and every one of them spent just frustrating minutes trying to access the map via the screen. I mean, if it's not intuitive, it's just not finished. And I love that this isn't a touchscreen. I'm sick to death of seeing fingerprints all over the displays in everyone's cars. But, I mean, why not just use a trackpad? This is 2017. Everyone has a laptop or has used one, and a trackpad would do everything that this remote touch interface does and more. So why are we bucking convention? Performance-wise, the steering is a little bit numb and vague, and that makes it difficult with the lack of feedback to estimate how much you should be using the wheel in order to execute any given turn. Braking, you're looking at around 120 to 130 feet to drop to 0 miles an hour from 60, and that is about average for the class, but I think it's about time that we stop accepting average. I mean, braking distances of 110 feet are possible here, even with a crossover. I think it's time we look at that. Now, more specific to the RX 350, panic stops do induce some nosedive and a bit of pull, and that's not exactly confidence-inspiring. Lexus can do better. I know they can. I think it's time. Space isn't great either. Up front, there's a ton, and rear seats are fine for headroom and width, but knees and feet are a bit cramped. And if you get the optional rear seat entertainment system, the screens are mounted on the backs of the front seats and stick out surprisingly far, enough to seriously impede comfort for anyone other than children. What this means is that the RX 350 is a pretty good option in the segment, especially now that the Safety System Plus package has been made standard across the lineup. But with the F Sport package, it really tips the scales over into must-test territory. There are options with more space, and there are options with more power, but for a total package, the RX 350 definitely delivers. Hey, thanks for watching. For full details on the 2017 Lexus RX 350, just click the link in the description. You can head over to CarGurus.com and read my full review. And for videos of some of the competitors, just subscribe to the channel.